Hey there guys, Fave here, and I know what you're thinking, whoa, but don't worry about it. We'll talk about that later. Right now, let's talk about this item, this ridiculous item. And before we talk about this ridiculous item, let's talk about today's like challenge. So, today's challenge is, if you've ever heard of a sword, smash that like button. And with that being said, let's take a look at one specific sword, the Infernal Undead Immortal sword. Now, Immortal swords are a series on Roblox that I've never particularly liked. If we just take a look at the whole series of them, there's a whole bunch of them, ranging from as cheap as 22,000 Robux to all the way up to 210,000 Robux. I mean, these are some expensive swords that go on your back. Now, my beef with them has always been that you can't use them in-game as opposed to like gears that you can. Otherwise, even though most games do have gears disabled, I get that. But it's a pretty successful series, and a lot of them are limited or limited you, but people always talk about how Roblox doesn't make limiteds anymore, and for the most part, they don't. But on October 12th, 2018, Roblox released one of the very last limited U items. And normally, when a limited U item is released, there's a set amount to sell out, and it sells out within a few minutes or maybe a couple hours if it's a huge flop. But it's been nearly 2 years, and this item hasn't even sold 10% of what it's supposed to sell. Now, why is that? Well, it's because Roblox is stupid. And I don't mean that just to hate, I don't mean that to be rude. It's literally stupidity, okay? So this item costs 13,000 Robux, and there is 31,000 to be sold. They expect 31,000 people to spend 13,000 Robux on this item. Now just to show you guys how ridiculous this is, I'm going to show you guys some expensive items that people really want and buy a lot that have sold much less. So the Headless Horseman on Roblox costs 31,000 Robux, and everyone that I know wants a headless. It's the biggest flex item I know that poor people want, alright? As of October 27th, 2019, it's been purchased 7,500 times. You know how many Immortals Roblox admins expect to sell? 31,000. And this isn't even a headless, it's just a sword with a spider on it. This thing is ugly, and don't get me wrong, I love green and purple. Emerald without green sparkle time with my mags. It works. But 13,000 Robux to be expected, 31,000 people to buy? Dude, do you even think 31,000 people want to spend 13,000 Robux on this ugly thing? And let's say theoretically this item sold out one day and people went ahead and tried to resell it. They would lose all their money. Nobody's going to pay more than 13,000 Robux for this. And how do I know this? Well, it's time to take a deep dive into the realms of history, into what I used to call the worst item of all time. So this right here is Crimsonwrath, Lord of the Magma, which I call the worst item in the history of Roblox. This is back when they were still releasing lots of good items. This is 2013, okay? So this was put on sale for 45,000 Robux and a timer. And I told everyone you would never make your money back on this. So 7 years later, when you would expect the item to get rarer and people to maybe profit finally, people are still not making money on this. Now let's do the math here. 45,000 Robux, 254 people bought it, and right now it's selling for 50,000. So let's say it sells for this absurdly high amount of 50,000 Robux. You still would only get 35,000 Robux back. Now, if that sounds like a lot, it's not. Because if you bought it for 45,000 and you're getting 35,000, you're losing 10,000 Robux on the purchase, which means you're an idiot. I told everyone back then not to buy it because it's the ugliest, worst hat on Roblox, and I still believe that to this day. Now, only 254 people bought this. Now already, 2,500 people have bought this, and I guarantee you, this would be a complete flop if it just were to sell out today, right? Let's take a look at a similar item, the Immortal Sword Shattered Earth, costing 25,000 Robux and only 100 were ever sold. This one isn't even making a profit. After taxes, you are losing Robux on this, and there's only 100 of them. And once again, there's over 2,500 of these. Never, ever buy this item. If you run across 13,000 Robux, I'd rather just like burn it in a fire or something. Do not buy this item. It will never sell out. It will never profit. It's just ridiculous. I don't know why Roblox does this. This is why they don't release limited use anymore, because they don't know how to do it. Whatever staff they had back in 2010 is clearly not the staff they have in 2018. Because 2 years later, they're not even 10% of the way sold, and it's just really sad. It's a sad thing to see, but oh well, right? It is what it is. Anyway, Thanks for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Follow me on Twitter at Roblox Fave. Subscribe and hit the bell to Fave and Fave 2. Join my fan club on Roblox. Join my Discord server, discord.gg/Fave. And it's your boy Fave, and I am out.